outside Mahogany. Mahogany rails up with Octagonal at the 200-metre marker on the outside. Octagonal. Mahogany coming at him. Stride for stride now on the Cox plate. Mahogany, Octagonal. Octagonal, Mahogany. Octagonal's got his nose in front. Octagonal wins the Cox plate.
And Pharaoh, last year's winner. Pharaoh hits the front and he zoomed away, Pharaoh. Group 1, Gavin, trained by Gay Waterhouse. Second posse from a mile back, Auntie Mary. But it's Gav, Gay and Pharaoh, back-to-back Don Castas.
Chief De Beers put a gap in them at the 200. He's 4 lengths in front. The 10,000 is all over. The Chief is streaking away from them. He's going to win easily. All Our Mob holding down second, then Cohort. But what a win. Chief De Beers by 4 lengths.
The Australian-made stakes was the 1995 Group 1 curtain raiser. Hariba strolled away with the 1,200-metre race and recorded one of the easiest wins of a Group 1 race in quite some time.
Hariba over on the fence in front. Yes, it's Hariba. Over on the inside, he explodes Hariba. 5, 6 in front. Spanish Mix, Sequalo and Scalacci, but Hariba a world beater. Hariba wins the race by 5 lengths.
The first 3-year-old classic of the year was the running of the Australian Guineas at Flemington.
Around the turn and the Guineas now, straightening up for the run home, and St Covered a neck in front of Hurricane Sky. Further back then Dry Humour, 2 lengths Don Pasquale. A fair way back is Blevik with Del Sol. St Covered put under pressure when Hurricane Sky went up on the outside, going down to the 300-metre mark. St Covered, Hurricane Sky from Don Pasquale, and the grey Barishnikov going to the rail. Then Dana Singer and Blevik is not in it. St Covered, Barishnikov the rail from Hurricane Sky, 3 in line. Barishnikov got the rails run, grabbed Hurricane Sky. Barishnikov going home better. Barishnikov wins the Guineas ahead.
The Oakley Plate often produces an exciting finish. 1995 was no exception.
At the 350 now, and it's Sequalo getting the upper hand from Barcara. Then Caltrice, Poetic King about to get out. Alanon further out in the track with a heavyweight. Coming to the 150, Sequalo in front of Caltrice. Poetic King into the clear. He's coming now, and so's Captain Lee in the heavyweight. They're across the track. Captain Lee from last is going to win the Oakley.
Captain Lee coming from last to first to win the Oakley Plate. This was the same case in Melbourne's feature 2-year-old event, the Blue Diamond Stakes.
It's Tuscany Flyer in front. Here's Principality from last. Principality storming home from last in the field. He'll win the Diamond. Principality. Principality 2 lengths Flying Spur.
The Wait for Age Futurity Stakes proved yet again that you can't keep a grand old horse down, especially if it's a grey one.
With Mahogany getting his head in front of Scalacci, and they sprint turning now. 2 in front of Snap. They're followed by Never Under Charge, Spanish Mix. Jeune a mile back. Mahogany's got his head in front. Scalacci fighting back, and they're followed further back by Spanish Mix. It's Scalacci coming again. He's a neck in front of Mahogany and Snap. Jeune late down the outside. The Grand Old Grey does it again. Scalacci. He's 1.5 lengths. Jeune, and nose away third Mahogany.
And the crowd went wild at Corfield as the Big Grey returned to form. Gay Waterhouse produced her first Group 1 winner of the year when All Our Mob won the Newmarket Handicap.
Down to the 300-metre mark from Boss Rocket. Then Caltrice from Royal Discard, and further back All Our Mob is running on well. The flat side in front, Hariba a neck in front of Boss Rocket. Here's All Our Mob. All Our Mob is going to swamp them. All Our Mob hit the front from Hariba and Boss Rocket, and All Our Mob wins the race.
West Australian mare Starstruck caused an upset in the VRC Australian Cup.
Station hand with its head in front, Starstruck and Jeune Jearn trying hard. Starstruck's at the front with 100 to go. Jearn goes out after Starstruck. Jearn and Starstruck. Starstruck in front. Jearn on the outside. Can't get there. Starstruck has won it in a photo from Jearn.
The racing spotlight then turned to Sydney for the running of the STC Golden Slipper Festival. The first feature race on the card was the Randit Stakes.
At the 200, Jearn is starting to throw down the gauntlet to Stony Bay with Air Seattle. Here's a race. Stony Bay still in front from Jearn. Air Seattle the outside. Jearn is making a lunge at Stony Bay. Oh boy, Stony Bay kicked.
Stony Bay winning the Randit Stakes. The 1995 Canterbury Guineas was taken out by Shaskay. 2 weeks later, the 3-year-olds met again for the running of the Rosehill Guineas.
Dane Wynn shot to the front down to the 250 and past it. It's Dane Wynn, Jackie Che aboard. A length Shaskay. Barishnikov can't do any better, but it's all Dane Wynn at the moment. Shaskay is trying his heart out, but Jackie Che at his brilliant best on Dane Wynn, and Dane Wynn takes the Rosehill Guineas from Shaskay.
Dane Wynn, victorious in a race and track record time of 1:59.99 for the 2,000 metres. The George Ryder Stakes arguably produced the best weight for age field assembled in 1995.
Hariba down the side of the track, 3 lengths on the big grey from Melbourne. Scalacci, third is Mahogany. About a length and a half to cut up Rough Hero when he's inside. 2 to Big Dreams, who's racing inside March Hare. Another 2 lengths to Star Dancer. Then All Our Mob, Brave Warrior, followed by Navy Seal, and tailed right off a Rough Habit and Telesto. Homeward bound on the George Ryder. And Hariba 3/4 of a length. Pharaoh sprinting quickly. In fact, Pharaoh now joins on the inside. Hariba 3/4 Scalacci. All Our Mob is running home. So's March Hare and Brave Warrior. It's Hariba kicking though. At the 100, Hariba more than a length clear on March Hare, Pharaoh, Brave Warrior and All Our Mob, but it is a big win to Hariba. Hariba wins the George Ryder from March Hare, Brave Warrior and Pharaoh, and then Mahogany.
Hariba was subsequently disqualified for returning a positive swab. The record books now read March Hare first, Brave Warrior second, Pharaoh third. On to the Golden Slipper.
They straighten up 400 out on the New Zealander. Our Maze K swept to the lead for Mick Dittman. Shane Dye aboard. Milridge going after our Maze K. A length away third. Zedridge getting into the open. Flying Spur is running home well. And then Octagonal Strategic is next. Our Maze K in front, 100 to go. Milridge and here's Flying Spur, and Octagonal is flying. Flying Spur hits the lead. Flying Spur. Flying Spur beat Octagonal. Photo third, our Maze K or Milridge.
A win for trainer Lee Friedman and a lucky late ride for Glenn Boss. The BMW Stakes would see Stony Bay and Jearn clash again.
In the straight, 300 to go. Stony Bay in front. Here's Jearn challenging strongly now. Jearn draws alongside. Stony Bay puts his nose in front. Will he go on with it today? At the 100 metres now, it's Jearn, Stony Bay kicking back. A replica of the Randit. Stony Bay is out plugging Jearn. Stony Bay beat Jearn.
Attention now turned to Randwick for the running of the AJC Autumn Racing Carnival. First cab off the rank, the Australian Derby.
And again, Stony Bay. Shane Dye booting Stony Bay away. He's about 2.5 to 3. Dane Wynn. A length to Persian Flyer. Barishnikov dropped off very, very quickly. And around the corner, Stony Bay handled the bend. A little awkwardly, straightens up 2 lengths on Dane Wynn, setting out after him now. On the inside, Blevick. He's running a mighty race today, Blevick. And here's Ivory's Irish right down the outside at the 200. And what a race this is. Ivory's Irish, Dane Wynn and Blevick beat off Stony Bay. It's Dane Wynn at Ivory's Irish clear of Blevick. It's Dane Wynn the inside, headed again by Ivory's Irish. It's Ivory's Irish just the leader, and Ivory's Irish wins the AJC Australian Derby.
The second of the feature races on the opening day of the AJC Autumn Racing Carnival is the Don Casta Handicap.
They're homeward bound at the 500 metres, and Bowrell and Pimpala Sun make play a length on snap, followed by Mr. Marconi. Behind those next, LA Glen. Wider out, Pharaoh joining in, and 2 lengths then coming Aragon. They race over the rise down to the 250, and Pharaoh, last year's winner, Pharaoh hits the front and he zoomed away, Pharaoh. Group 1 Gavin, trained by Gay Waterhouse. Second posse from a mile back, Artie Mary, but it's Gav, Gay and Pharaoh back to back Doncasters.
Pharaoh providing us with yet another popular win. On to the feature sprint of the Autumn Racing Carnival, the Galaxy.
Miss Kariba still the leader. From Moss Rocket down the outside, Magic of Money is flying. Miss Kariba tackled by Magic of Money. Oh, they're wide apart here. Couldn't split them.
The lightweight chance, Magic of Money, proving too good in the Galaxy. The second of the three legs of the 2-year-old Triple Crown is the Sire's Produce Stakes.
And here it's Zedrich wide out taking the lead from Exclusive Halo. A Rashi on the inside, followed then by Strategic, and here is Octagonal and Show of Force down to the 250. Zedrich tackled by Octagonal, Show of Force, Strategic, Exclusive Halo, and then on the inside Isolde, Octagonal and Show of Force. It's Octagonal, a nose in front of Show of Force, Strategic, Isolde flashing home. They hit the line, I reckon Octagonal. I think Octagonal might have won this. A Nostril, Isolde, Show of Force third.
Officially first, Octagonal, Isolde second, and Show of Force third. The feature fillies race of the Autumn Racing Carnival is the AJC Oaks.
Northwood Plume is after Circles of Gold with Love Dance. Circles of Gold still in front. She's hanging out a bit. Northwood Plume won't reach her. Circles of Gold all the way. And a victory salute by the rider shortly past the post. Circles of Gold wins the Oaks from Northwood Plume and Love Dance.
Circles of Gold winning the AJC Oaks. Now to Isolde winning the Champagne Stakes.
It's developing into a sprint home, and Isolde got away a shade, and Di has a peep to see where Octagonal was, and Isolde's a length on Octagonal. Pontal last third, followed by Show of Force on the outside, and over on the inside Latin Quarter. Here's a race at the 200 metres. Octagonal coming at Isolde. Pontal Lass and Show of Force. Octagonal's got his head in front from the filly Isolde, and then Pontal Lass, Octagonal and Isolde hit the line. Oh, a real head bobber. This is a classic head bobber between Octagonal and Isolde. Whatever head has gone down right on the mirror will get the prize.
In just a moment, we'll be back to take a look at the feature races of the Queensland Racing Carnival and then the Spring Carnival.
2KY Racing Radio.
To go, and Mick said let's go on the Chief, and he's raced away from them. Chief to Be has put a gap in them at the 200. He's 4 lengths in front. The 10,000 is all over. The Chief is streaking away from them. He's going to win easily. All Our Mob holding down second, then Cohort, but what a win.
And in Brisbane, Chief De Beers making light work of the Doomben 10,000. Next, we look at the Doomben Cup.
Dane went in front, 250 metres to go. Rough Habit trying hard, Brave Warrior. Dana Singer's getting the run on the inside, coming after Dane Win, but Dane Win is giving plenty. 150 to go, Dane Win is the leader. Dana Singer trying hard, Turradoo's now up to third. Dane Win in front, Di punching him hard, and he's won the Doomben Cup. Dane Win first, Dana Singer I think second.
The major race out of Brisbane is the Stradbroke Handicap.
In the straight, Just Awesome is the leader. Scalacci second. Mick is winding up the Chief on the outside. He's after them. Sublimate behind them on the rails. Then Ruslan. And Carptingley's coming with a great run. Chief De Beers hit the lead. Scalacci's going with him. Ruslan joining in on the outside. Scalacci's in front. Ruslan diving at him the last little bit. Ruslan went to Scalacci and beat him. Ruslan first. Scalacci second, I think. Carptingley maybe third.
Ruslan, successful for Sydney trainer John Morrish. Now to the Sydney Spring Carnival, and firstly, the Spring Champion Stakes.
Turning for home and up the rise, and Stork got away. 2 lengths on Catlin opening, Flying Spurs into the clear. Nothing Like a Dane picking up the bit from Classy Fella, and then Super Slew, but Nothing Like a Dane races to the lead. Catlin opening second, Stork surrendered, and then Super Slew, but Nothing Like a Dane, the big fella's rocketed away. He's home. Nothing Like a Dane from Super Slew and Catlin opening, and a big win to Nothing Like a Dane.
Gay Waterhouse continuing her winning streak in the Spring Champion Stakes with Nothing Like a Dane. To the second major mile at Randwick for the year, the Epsom Handicap.
Straightening up in the Epsom, on top of the rise, and Nick's Joy on the outside joins Dane Win. Third is Sprint by Vital Consent is wide out, a gap to Hedge, and then My Diamonds is Star Dancer and Juggler. Nick's Joy just leads Dane Win. Sprint by Struggling, followed by Vital Consent, but it's Nick's Joy the leader. Nick's Joy, in fact, is coming away from Dane Win, and Nick's Joy wins the Epsom.
The major staying event in the Sydney Spring Racing Carnival is the Metropolitan.
Straighten up and Die going for home on Stony Bay. A length and a half, Grand Connection, followed by Electronic, and then Unsold, and on the inside, Cedo Florian. Stony Bay's under pressure now. Electronic is coming after it, and in fact, Electronic hits the front from Stony Bay, and then Unsold, and the Phantom Chance is flying. Electronic in front from Stony Bay. The Phantom Chance, but it's Electronic's Metrop.
The racing focus then turned to Melbourne for the Melbourne Spring Racing Carnival. The first race we look at is the Corfield Cup.
Now, Board out deep at the front in the Corfield Count Shivers down the outside with a run. Electronic back in the middle, followed by Love Dance, and then Doremus Patara's Bay. Count Shivers on the outside has got to the front with 100 to go. Doremus late on the inside. With it is Board. Doremus after Count Shivers and Board. Doremus getting over the top of them. Doremus wins the Corfield Cup a half length.
And that wouldn't be the last win for Doremus in 1995. To the Cox Plate, and now it was time for Octagonal to stand up and be counted.
1200 out, and it's our Mace Gay, the 3-year-old colt in front. He's 3/4 to a length in front of Stony Bay. Dane Winner's getting a glorious run third, a half then to Solve at fourth. 2 for the back, Mahogany running fifth, and Just Apollo 3 deep. Back in the middle, Station Hand and 2 lengths, Pakaraka Star. Outside him is the fellow Kiwi, Mr. Marconi. 2 further back in the race, then Octagonal 3 deep around Seasky. Danarani on the fence, a length further back, Jern. He's at the tail of the 800 metre mark with Star Dancer. Off the back in the Cox Plate, and it's our Mace K. Over on the inside and neck in front with Stony Bay putting the pressure on the outside. Solvit is further out on the track with Station Hand. Then Just Apollo. Dane Winner's waiting for a run at the 600 metre mark, and further back in the race, Mahogany off the rail. Pulled out wide on the track is Octagonal, and the widest runner is Jern. Our Mace K struggling. He's gone. Station Hand has hit the front. Dane Win carried back through the field. Hampered badly. Station Hand in front. Here's Octagonal and Jern with a mighty run. Then getting through is on the inside Mahogany. Mahogany rails up with Octagonal at the 200 metre marker on the outside. Octagonal. Mahogany coming at him. Stride for stride now on the Cox Plate. Mahogany, Octagonal. Octagonal, Mahogany. Octagonal's got his nose in front. Octagonal wins the Cox Plate.
Octagonal in a brilliant finish to take out the 1995 Cox Plate. Now to the VRC Derby.
Burrito goes to the 900 metre marker, half length in front. Nothing Like a Dane goes up to his quarters on the outside. 2.5 further back, Zoff Coast. They're followed by Principality. Now Octagonal is starting to angle off the fence. He's trying to get away from the rail. Catalan Opening went before him. And around the turn now they straighten up in the Derby. Burrito the leader. Into the straight they come, 500 to go. Burrito a neck in front. Nothing Like a Dane is getting closer. 2 lengths Principality. Octagonal is badly hemmed in. He's got nowhere to go. He's gone back to third last as Nothing Like a Dane has shot to the front. Nothing Like a Dane in front, 2 lengths Catalan Opening, Principality. Dane are trying to get out, and here's Octagonal. Octagonal coming with a run at the 150. Nothing Like a Dane, 2 in front. Octagonal starting to lift, starts to pegging back. Nothing Like a Dane, a half in front. Octagonal trying hard. Nothing Like a Dane release. Nothing Like a Dane wins the Derby, 3/4 Octagonal. 4 away, third in the race is Donor from...
Nothing Like a Dane and Octagonal putting the writing on the wall for some great racing in 1996. It was after the running of the VRC Derby that the connections of Nothing Like a Dane decided to pay the late entry fee for the big one, the Cup. And that brings us to that race, the running of the 1995 Melbourne Cup, the grand final of racing in Australia.
Coachwood about 3/4 in front of It's All in Front. At the 700 metre mark in the Cup, 2.5 lengths, Bullwinkle third. Storm has got to fourth from Yes Indeed. Doremus is coming home well. Further back, Nothing Like a Dame, Quick Ransom. Count Shivers, Fewer Chosen back to the rail. Then Vintage Crop. Double Triggers dropped out to near the tail of the field. Back there with him is Jern. Around the turn in the Cup, It's All in Fun has moved up on the outside of Coachwood at the 350. Nothing Like a Dame and Doremus. Doremus is ranging up on the outside. Doremus has hit the front. Nothing Like a Dane getting up on his inside. 3 lengths further back in the race, and Quick Ransom. Damien Oliver, Doremus and Nothing Like a Dane come away at the 200 metre mark, and Doremus is finding plenty. He's kicked away 2.5 in front of Nothing Like a Dane. Quick Ransom and Vintage Croc, but it's Doremus nicely clear in the Melbourne Cup. He's got the Cup one. He's holding Nothing Like a Dane, and Doremus wins the Cup. Wins at 3.5. Nothing Like a Dane ahead away third is Vintage Crop from Quick Ransom. The gap in the race, Coachwood.
We hope you have enjoyed our look at 1995, the
Yes, and a job well done from Grant Boyden. from 2KY in Sydney in excellent. Some great memories there from the racing year just gone by, 1995. Well, we're into 96 now. The time is 12 past 1. Let's open up the afternoon racing service.
Welcome to the afternoon racing service. Here's Paul Langham.
And officially, hello everyone, a very happy new year and welcome to racing in 1996 on Triple S, the Good Sports. Meetings for coverage today on the first day of the new year. We go to Randwick in Sydney. Weather is fine, the track is good there. 2:18, the first with Ian Craig. Our meeting in Melbourne comes from Flemington. Weather overcast. Please note the track is now heavy in Melbourne, as Greg mentioned earlier. Track now heavy at Flemington. We have some late scratchings, we'll check there in a moment. First at Flemington at 2 o'clock with Brian Blackmore. Eagle Farm in Brisbane, it's fine and good. Up north, 2:09, the first with Wayne Wilson. Adelaide, overcast and slow. Ron Paps, our caller there, at 2:27, the first from Morfettville. Selected coverage from Auckland in New Zealand. We'll be having a look at the Cup there in just a moment. Races 7 and 9 on the ACTAB. Race 7, the Auckland Cup, due at 1:30. Race 9, the Railway, due at 2:50. Albie Gain from Radio Pacific is our caller. The weather is fine, the track is good. Or as they say in New Zealand, the track firm. So it's fine and good there in Auckland. Ascot in Perth. Big day, of course, there. Perth Cup Day for 1996. And race number 5, the Perth Cup today, due at 6:45. The first there, coming up at 10 past 4 with Darren McCauley, fine and fast for Perth today. Canberra, locally, the weather is showery. And I believe we may have had a track change there at Canberra. We'll check up on that. We originally had slow, but it may have even been amended to heavy, but we'll check on that. Showery and slow at the moment. We'll check that with Chris O'Brien shortly when we go out to Canberra. And the first there at 1:55 with Chris O'Brien doing the honours for us today. Elwick in Tasmania, result service only there. Weather overcast, track slow. The first at 2:13 from the Elwick program today. So that's the racing action on Triple S, the Good Sports. Sit back and enjoy the afternoon. I'm sure you will, and it'll make it all that much better if you can find yourself a winner or two throughout the afternoon.
This is 103.9 Triple S Racing.
Coming up very shortly, an early look at this evening's scratchings and selections with Tanya. That will be coming up in a moment. We'll start with looking at the Wentworth Park Greyhounds tonight. But just before that, we have some late scratchings through from Flemington in Melbourne. The downgrading of the track to heavy. Race 1, Flemington, scratch number 7, Polish Native, a late one. Race 1, number 7. Go to